No shirt, no problem. Is Jaxson Dart the answer for the New York Giants? He got a little bit of help from his running back. Is this the same New York Giants team that we were talking about on this show a month ago? Oh my God, this Skattebo kid. I've never seen anything like it. What's not to love? I'm not a New York Giants fan, but suddenly I'm kind of a New York Giants fan. New York, New York, Jaxson Dart. We've been asking the question since the beginning of the year. Is Jaxson Dart the answer for the New York Giants? And after 3 starts and 2 wins, I think the answer we can now firmly say is yes. And he got a little bit of help from his running back last night as the New York Giants upset the world champion Philadelphia Eagles 34-17 at MetLife Stadium. No shirt, no problem. Jaxson Dart and Cam Skattebo sweating swagger. Look at this. Is this the same New York Giants team that we were talking about on this show a month ago? It sure as hell doesn't seem like it. They look like they're ready to go vie for the WWE tag team titles. And I got my money on them. You may have to put it out to you guys to tell us what the tag team name would be for Jaxson Dart and Cam Skattebo, but holy shit, was that an impressive performance by the 2 rookies. The Philadelphia Eagles did not look like themselves as they go down in New York. And look, when shirts are coming off, and Cam Skattebo there, you can see, when shirts are coming off, that's like sending out the bat signal for Ryan Fitzpatrick. That motherfucker is waiting for any opportunity to take his shirt off at any time. Throw both of those guys a shower beer as well later on. They both look like guys who drink beers in the shower, do they not? That's the kind of guy you want in your huddle if you're an NFL player. I want some motherfuckers in the huddle who look like they drink beers in the shower in the morning. And hell, both of those guys look like they might crack one open in the huddle. Quite frankly, Ryan Fitzpatrick, sign that motherfucker up, bring him in somewhere. I think he could still take a couple of snaps in the league. The Bengals wanted Joe Flacco. Ryan Fitzpatrick, he looks like he could have gone to Cincinnati and made some shit happen this year. But Cam Skattebo, what an impression he made in defeat in the college football playoff. Those of us who saw him for the first time, or for those of us who had only seen limited action from him, quite an impression when he was out there vomiting on the field and giving it everything that he had in a losing effort. I remember Ronnie T-Shirts and I commenting on it at the time, just talking to each other like, oh my God, this Skattebo kid, I've never seen anything like it. He was out there, he had to have been concussed, but he only knew one speed, forward, like a boxer, like Mike Tyson. Cam Skattebo just forward. You want to talk about a North and South kid. You want to talk about somebody that is an old school 1970s style running back. A guy who would just as soon run you over because he doesn't want to take a couple of extra steps to go around you. That's the kind of energy that he's bringing to the team. And don't tell me that this entire roster isn't feeding off of not only Jaxson Dart's leadership, but Cam Skattebo's toughness and, dare I say, his craziness. I've got a video here for you that I want you to take a look at. This is his teammates, and this is clear. This is before he became a national phenomenon last night. Let's see what his New York Giants teammates have to say about Cam Skattebo.
The best Skattebo impression.
Yo, what up, Big Blue? It's 4-4 and 6 in the trap.
Hey, let's go!
Oh!
Didn't they say no backflip? Oh.
Actually, get up. He do one of these right here. He shake his head.
Boom! Boom! Oh!
I don't really like this one. It's really mean, and I don't like the people who are mocking me, and this is not okay.
I'm just kidding.
All right, what's not to love? What's not to love? I'm not a New York Giants fan, but suddenly I'm kind of a New York Giants fan. Jaxson Dart, Cam Skattebo winning in style, knocking off the world champions. Maybe, just maybe, finally, Brian Dable, New York Giants fans, they've got something to be excited about for the first time in a while in New York. But in honor of Cam Skattebo ripping off his shirt like Hulk Hogan and posing with Ryan Fitzpatrick, I thought this would be a good day for us to theme this show with some of the greatest tweets about shirtless people. I would say guys, but they're not all guys. Do I have your attention? Maybe stick around a little bit. There's at least one that's not a guy, but this is the greatest Super 70s tweets on shirtlessness. And let's start with this sweet bastard pedaling up with a couple of cases of what's he got there? Is that Miller High Life?
Champagne and
What it
beer.
looks like to me. Look
Is
at
he on
that.
a unicycle?
May this
Unicycle,
sweet bastard inspire us all into the weekend. Is that a fucking unicycle?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Makes it even more impressive,
What
Ricky.
the hell? That is, holy shit. You know when a motherfucker rolls up on a unicycle with 2 cases of beer that the party's about to get started? We're starting this party off right now with him. He's the beacon of light. He and Cam Skattebo. But when you want to talk about legends of shirtlessness, how about Long John Daly? For an example, you know, John Daly has never been that burdened by societal constructions. Interviewed on the course, not wearing a shirt, like that's fucking normal. Then when I eagled number 12, I figured, fuck it, I'll take my shirt off. And that's exactly what he did. Arkansas Razorback. There, never been prouder, the folks in Arkansas, than to see that man go capture 2 major championships. The world of golf still isn't ready for John Daly. And we're 35 years on from when he burst onto the scene. Here's one for you that's, I don't know how to explain this one. I've attempted to explain it. This is at least the way that I see it. But you can try to deconstruct this situation for yourself. There's a lot happening here. Dusty Baker of the Los Angeles Dodgers firing home while one fan pukes over the railing and a shirtless George Carlin gets the fuck out of Dodge. And people have actually asked me before, is that really George Carlin? Well, I said it was. Didn't I? I don't know. I can't prove it's not George Carlin. But what is going on? You know, what's the best explanation for this? Sometimes the best explanation is the simplest one. I just say it was the 70s. You need more than that from me? It all made sense to us at the time, but I don't know what the hell is happening down the left field line there as Dusty Baker fires home. Speaking of shirtless quarterbacks, we've already had one on the program, Ryan Fitzpatrick, but he didn't invent that. Let's go back and look at one of the OGs of shirtlessness. You know, if your special moment isn't captured by a shirtless Terry Bradshaw in a snakeskin belt that he's wearing at a Motel 6, is that a moment that's really even worth remembering? Was it even worthy of being photographed? I say not, for one. Imagine looking up in the middle of the night, Terry Bradshaw's just getting a quick shot of you there in your room. I don't know who took that. But sometimes it's not just about shirtlessness. Sometimes you got to take it even further than that. And who knew better back in the 1980s than David Lee Roth? 7 bottles of Jack before the show? Check. Chaps on? Check. Pants off? Check. Let's fucking do this.
Yeah, that looks like a chick from behind.
Your ass cheeks. Listen, if you're so you're into that, huh?
I mean,
Is that looking good? Looking good?
I mean,
to you?
sometimes,
They're running.
maybe sometimes.
Well, we're learning It's the we just learned something about Ronnie T-shirts.
I mean, I guess if I don't know,
if
I just saw
is there any more man ass that you'd like for us to throw up for you today,
I
Rob?
was suggesting that if I didn't know that it was a man, it looks like a chick from behind, Ricky. Do not put words and thoughts in my head.
It does look like a chick from behind. It looks like it would be like the scene in a movie where you go up and say, "Hey, baby," and then baby turns around and is like, "I got my pencil," and you're like, "Oh my God, I'm never going to have sex again the rest of my life as I join a monastery and reflect for the next 40 years on what just happened here." But, you know, if you were a female biologist in the 70s, Ronnie, you worked topless. And everybody knew that. You smoked Tipperillos. And, of course, the top, if you're wearing a top underwater, everybody knows if you're a woman, it's going to scare the fish away. You will not be able to study the marine biology, all plant life and
it's for science.
Aquatic animals. It's for science. Exactly. So, you know, the top comes off, but it is strictly professional. And of course, the Tipperillos are there to refresh you because when you're working in a marine biology environment, you're going to need that kind of refreshment. This episode is brought to you today by Prize Picks. My friends, you know, you and I make decisions every day, but on Prize Picks, being right can get you paid. So don't miss any of the excitement this season on Prize Picks, where it's good to be right. It's even better to be right and be financially rewarded for being right. So join millions of users and sign up today. Prize Picks is the best place to win cash while watching sports. And, you know, my favorite part is when you use my code Ricky, that is RICKY, you're going to get $50 in lineups when you play your first $5 lineup. That's all you got to do. Play your first $5 lineup using my code Ricky. You will get $50 in lineups. Prize Picks, it's good to be right. And I hope that I am right this week because I'm looking for a tidy little payout this weekend. And I don't know, do we have the graphic? There you go. I am a fan of the point after touchdown props. And I am going more. I like to find a situation where I feel that a team is going to get more touchdowns. And I assume these motherfuckers can nail 98% of their extra points. So I've got a 4-kicker situation going on this weekend. Cam Little of Jacksonville, Jason Myers of the Seahawks, they're playing each other. I think both of those teams are going to score 2 touchdowns or more, is what I think. So I'm going more on those. Evan McPherson, can Cincinnati with Joe Flacco score 1 touchdown against Green Bay? I think that they can score 1 at least. And then Cairo Santos of the Bears, I think the Bears are going to punch it into the end zone at least a couple of times against Washington on Monday night. So feel free to Xerox my picks and use them for your own financial reward because I feel very confident about this. I think I'm going to get a 2.8 payout when that comes through. Not if that comes through, when that comes through. You've got to make your prize picks with confidence, my friends. Same confidence that Mike Ditka had that he was imparting gentle wisdom to this player many years ago. Mike Ditka, making history. All the talk about Jonathan Gannon, and he got fined $100,000, and he's had to apologize to everybody. Has Jonathan Gannon called and personally apologized to you yet? I feel like I'm the only person left in America that Jonathan Gannon hasn't been coerced into apologizing to. Well, it wasn't always that way in the NFL. NFL history made in 1986, in fact, when Mike Ditka fined himself and then apologized after the game for not getting even angrier with this guy. He caught himself slipping, realized that he was just a little too gentle with this player, and vowed after the game that it would never happen again. and fined himself for that as well. Let me go now to the international streaming star who joins me from Champaign-Urbana today. I speak, of course, of the legendary Ronnie T-shirts. And Ronnie, you're in my state, motherfucker. You're encroaching on my territory.
About 2 hours away.
I feel like we're gonna have to have like a 1980s music video style gang fight where we hold knives, but then we just dance until one of us achieves superiority.
And breaking would just be like,
yeah, a little bit of that. Maybe I might have to do the worm in order to send you back to Tennessee.
Popping and locking.
Yeah, popping and locking. Yeah, I had a breakdancing book when I was a kid, Ron. I remember getting it in Walden books. Yeah, it's like learn how to break dance. Yeah. I did a lot of moonwalking practice, and it never really took. I still don't understand how people moonwalk, really, Ron. I was a below par moonwalker. I know you look at me and you would think, well, that guy's probably fucking moonwalking everywhere. Yeah. Not so fast.
Turns out
I'm actually not good at it.
Did you have a breakdance name? Did you have like that you went by?
I did not. Although I've always thought that I would be Kentucky.
Oh,
that's Flo Rida.
That sounds more like a porn name.
Yeah. I'm like, well, Kentucky's here to repair your washing machine, ma'am. I don't know, Ron. Ron, are you aware of the Zombieland celebration? It originated at Western Kentucky University. For those who may not be aware, it's a thing that Cam Ward does. Now, it's his signature celebration.
Okay.
He puts a hand over his eyes and his hand out.
Okay.
And they're even doing it in the NFL now. It caught on, and it's a thing, but it originated in 2022. Are you ready for this? In Bowling Green, Kentucky, Western Kentucky University Hilltoppers. The players in 2022 started doing it. And I think that the logic behind it was, I still don't know why this means zombie, but the thing is like, we're zombies. You can't stop us. We are unstoppable, right? We're never going to quit coming at you. Okay. And so Cam Ward picked it up, and now it's a thing. And so Western Kentucky is debuting their Zombieland helmets this weekend. And you can kind of sort of see it.
There you go. Okay, there you go.
There's a better look. Yeah. So there it is.
Remind me what
we're 5-1. What are what?
Your mascot's called like Big Red or something?
Big Red.
I mean, Big Red is just awesome.
He's the best. Best thing that fucking ever happened to Western Kentucky. He was invented in 1979 by a student. Ron, I was looking into it last night. He's the goodwill ambassador for an entire institution. This is Sports Center commercials. They always employed him pretty liberally.
I'm going to try to find a mini helmet
for a school like us
of that and get it for you for Christmas.
Oh,
if I can find it, I can find it. Yeah, if I can find it, I'm going to get it for you. That would look really good on your desk.
Well, you're right. That's very sweet of you. Thank you, Ron. Well, Ronnie, I don't know, man. So here you are up here in my state. It's you, and is it you and Tyler, or is it you and Lori and Tyler?
Lori's reading on the bed right here. Back over that way.
Okay.
She's eating Swedish fish and reading a book. It looks like
you're in the press box, Ron. I was completely.
No, this is the University of Illinois Stadium, so I felt like I had to put something up there to recognize it. Yeah. Big game tomorrow.
It looks good. You got the cap turned around backwards.
We got well, tomorrow it's big noon is here, so Fox's big noon game tomorrow. So Ohio State, Illinois. Let's see what happens.
Stuff. Good stuff. Well, we got a big game here on Friday, Ron, because as you know, it is Championship Friday, and let's waste no time going to it right now because it's time for America's Poll of the Day, and let's go to it now at Super 70 Sports on X, where the Eagle flies high, higher than Ronnie T-shirts in the press box at the stadium there as we see him. I hear that it's actually a room and Lori is behind him. But here are the options today, Ron. These are the winners, as you will recall. Let's give everybody a little quick scamper through our week of America's Poll of the Day. Funnel cake was our winner on Monday. On Tuesday, it was a full tank of gas that just drove away with it, Ron, I suppose, was all that we could say about that. Surprised us. Strike 3, curveball looking. Did better than I think any of us thought it was going to do. Blew out the field as well on Wednesday. And then yesterday, Waffle House came through with a narrow victory. Who did Waffle House beat again, guys? It was like a 1.5% win.
Oh,
who was second yesterday?
Yeah, because Waffle House was losing, right?
It was winning, I think, initially. Golf carts. That's right. It was golf carts.
Okay. So
here's what we've got. I'm a little afraid, Ronnie, that the funnel cake and Waffle House are going to split the fat fuck vote here, and I don't know. My prediction. Well, I'll save my prediction, Ronnie. Okay. Break it down for me as only you can.
All right, I'm gonna go kind of all over the board here. I'm not gonna go in order. So a full tank of gas. I actually have a literal full tank of gas right now because I was down to 30 miles when I pulled into the hotel, and there's a gas station right next to it. So
feels good. Feels good, don't it?
Yes, and I understand.
Does it feel good?
Yeah.
Feels pretty good.
It feels good to know that I can
drive it.
Home. It feels good that I can drive home.
You poo-pooed it earlier this week,
and not have to stop immediately to get gas. But I don't know. Just feels like you should just always have a full tank of gas at some point. I don't know. Strike with strike 3, curve looking. Yeah, I told you. It's just I love the look on the person's face. They're like, well, I couldn't have hit that, so it doesn't even matter if I had the bat on my shoulder or I swung because I wasn't going to hit it. So they just knew. Waffle House, I don't think it's the most sanitary place in the world. While I do like breakfast, I do like, again, what I say yesterday, if that said Waffle House fights, I probably would vote for it.
Yeah.
But
I feel like if we ever go to Waffle House together, Ron, we got to go in back to back.
Oh, just
you know
just
what I mean, so that we can, yeah. Because I mean,
I see what you're saying.
Off, yeah,
we'll do this.
You're gonna, you're gonna be fighting off 2 or 3 people just to order.
We'll just be pointing at it. Yeah, like look around the corner.
Yeah, we'll do. It'll be like Rob O'Neill when he was going in to kill Bin Laden.
Yes,
there'll be lots of hand signals and things like that. I remember Rob O'Neill says, "What is slow is smooth and smooth is fast." That's what we have to remember when we enter Waffle House.
I mean, I feel like that would pertain to a lot of things, sex included.
We'll see. Rob O'Neill knows what he's talking about, obviously.
So if you give me an option where you take dough and then you fry it and then you cover it with powdered sugar, that's going to win every single time. So it's like easy. It's funnel cake.
All right. Funnel cake then. I mean, when you give me that kind of logic, it's hard to argue. Let's bring in producer Tim, the very svelte producer Tim. He's down, God only knows how many lbs. Not that he was ever that heavy, quite honestly. But Tim, funnel cake, Waffle House. I mean, how's the discipline? Tim, well, see, we're talking about no shirts. Jared was joking before the show, saying like, right, we'll go shirtless. Tim is the only person on the screen right now who is at all equipped to meet that challenge.
Are you serious?
I'm just telling you right now. Do it, Ron.
Do it, Ron. Do it, Ron.
Lori,
were waiting.
Yeah.
Lori would throw up while she's reading in bed right now.
We were waiting for Armando.
Tim's denying himself things like funnel cake right now. He's probably forgotten what that kind of stuff tastes like by now.
Yeah, I mean, it is fair season here in the Northeast. So we have Zeppelis. We do have funnel cake. We've got the fried Oreos, corn dogs. It's pretty wild. But yeah, funnel cake almost got my vote, Ron. I'll be honest with you. I do, admittedly, I'm going to sound like a nerd. I do have a big Jeep Grand Cherokee, but I also have a little hybrid. And a full tank of gas in my hybrid, dude, is 10.5 gallons. So full tank really doesn't mean much when you're getting like 40 to the gallon in my RAV4. It's a long-winded way to say Waffle House, everything else, recency bias. Call me guilty. I'm going strike three, curve looking, kind of like Ohtani yesterday in the ninth. Ricky, we haven't talked. Did you see that Ohtani's only 1-19 in the DS? He's got 10 strikeouts. He's got the judge bug. So I'm going strike three, curve looking. And leaving my shirt on, at least so Armando joins.
Short series, I don't know. There's too much made about what guys are batting. I remember one time I was at Wrigley Field. It was like April the 11th. Second game I ever saw at Wrigley Field. I had tickets to see Paul McCartney that night at the United Center. And it was either April the 10th or the 11th. It might have been the 10th. I only remember because of the concert date. But every time somebody came up to bat, they'd put their average on the scoreboard at Wrigley. And I remember
0.
Fred McGriff was batting. And the guy behind me was just like, oh, this guy, look, this guy's fucking terrible. He's batting 0 or whatever, and I'm just sitting there like, oh my God, like Fred McGriff's got like 10 at bats. Calm down, Mr. Small sample size. But no, dude, look, the food is obviously very tempting. I haven't been to a Waffle House in a while. That was more of a Kentucky thing. I've probably only been to Waffle House 2 or 3 times in the last 20 years, but I always enjoyed it. Danger aside, funnel cake is great. Full tank of gas is fine, but it's not sexy, but a good strike three looking. And in fact, next time that we have Sean Casey on the show, I'm going to ask him, maybe the best curveball I've ever seen was thrown to him by Clayton Kershaw in a spring training game. It is fucking filthy, Ron. I'll try to find it for you after the show and I'll just send it to you. But I don't think that I've ever asked Sean about that pitch. It is just absolutely nasty. And it was when Kershaw was just a young up-and-comer. So I'll find it and show it to you. I'm going with strike three, curveball looking. The best versions of that are almost baseball pornography. But funnel cake is almost carnival pornography as well. Well, here we are, a full tank of gas. Boy.
Bunch of practical old guys.
Man, we got a bunch of guys. Man, we got guys who are wearing church socks and sneakers, don't we?
New Balances, Black Sox, T-shirt tucked into a pair of
I have underestimated. Sweet practical bastards is what 38.9% of you are.
Dude, even if we would have added funnel cake and Waffle House together, it still wouldn't have beat it.
Yeah. Still wouldn't have beat it. A full tank of gas is going to go roaring into the next Why Not tournament. And we may have to consider giving it a fairly high seed. Seems like it shouldn't be seeded lower than, I don't know, maybe 5 or 6. It just barreled through the entire week, Ron, much to my surprise. So there you have it. And for those of you, maybe you're thinking now as you're watching this program, do I have a full tank or not? Well, why don't you go out, take a look, check. We're going to take a quick break here. And when we come back, I'm going to be joined by Outkick's senior NFL reporter, Armando Salguero. That's right. The great one himself will join me straight ahead right after this, right here on the Ricky Cobb Show.
Football's finally back. So's the hard-hitting gridiron action on Prize Picks. Download Prize Picks and use code OUTKICK and get $50 instantly in lineups when you play $5. Must be present in certain states. Visit prizepicks.com for restrictions and details.
We don't have an answer on this yet. But
Well, I shouldn't have an answer.
Well,
Y'all don't have an answer.
No, I just meant we don't know yet if you're going to be the number 2. But how excited, how ready, how great would that be for you to have an opportunity to go out there and back up Dylan in this game in Pittsburgh?
Oh, well, no, we're going to make sure we do everything we can to make sure Dylan ready for the game. So, whatever that means. So each and every day, even when Joe was the starter, everything, prepare the right way and be ready to know that you could get out there at any point in time. So, I'm overly confident within myself. So I know when I first got here, I'm ready to play. But, it's up to the coaches and, whatever decision, they make, then I'm fine with.
Well, there's Shedeur Sanders talking about how he's ready for whatever comes his way. We can confirm he will be the backup quarterback per Browns head coach Kevin Stefanski on Sunday. So Shedeur Sanders is going to be an injury to Dylan Gabriel away from seeing some action. And the fact that he spoke about this is a upgrade on where he was last week, because when he was asked about Dylan Gabriel being the starting quarterback, he pantomimed an answer, which is not really an answer at all. And I don't know. Every time I hear the guy talk, I'm wondering, maybe a career in miming. You might want to hang on to the makeup, Shedeur. You might have a better future there. I'm not sure. To help me figure this out, as well as other things going on in the world of both professional and college football, it's my pleasure always to welcome to the program Outkick senior NFL writer. He is, of course, our friend, the great Armando Salguero. And Armando, always good to see you. What do you make of Shedeur? The long and winding road of Shedeur Sanders has now at least led him to holding a clipboard on Sunday. What do you make of this kid? Every time I hear him talk, it doesn't exactly inspire confidence.
Well, what we're seeing is a small reason, but a reason nonetheless, of why Shedeur Sanders dropped in the draft. And part of it is that he joins your team, and like other players in the past who have been attention magnets, it becomes a potential distraction. How? Well, everybody wants to know where he's practicing, where he is on the depth chart, what he thinks about it, what his teammates think about it, what his dad thinks about it, who, by the way, this week said, I don't care what happens with the Cleveland Browns. I don't want anything to do with that quote unquote mess. Now, I care about Shedeur Sanders. I love him, but I don't care about the Cleveland Browns. And so that kind of stuff, that kind of attention has the potential for distraction. And it has the potential for distraction on top of the fact that the head coach isn't sure, as recently as 2 days ago, that Shedeur Sanders should be the number two quarterback. Why? Because he wasn't sure that he's better than Bailey Zappi, who's not good. Bailey Zappi's not good. Bailey Zappi was on the practice squad, and Bailey Zappi's on the practice squad for a reason. He's not good, but he's more experienced than Shedeur Sanders. What does that tell you about Shedeur Sanders and what the coaching staff thinks about Shedeur Sanders? If Bailey Zappi, who, by the way, is not good, he's having a competition with Shedeur Sanders for the number 2 spot on the depth chart. It's drama for the reason that it shouldn't be drama. It's ridiculous.
Armando, I know that you are very plugged in with sources all around the league. Do you think if the Browns had the opportunity to do it over, that they would still select him?
That's a great question. I don't answer hypothetical. No, I'm just kidding. What I would say to you is that when it happened, there were people in that building that weren't big fans of Shedeur Sanders. Okay. And we saw that for 4 rounds. Their opinion prevailed. And then there's people in that building and outside of that building too that really liked Shedeur Sanders a lot, to the point where they were thinking all those things that you're telling us about why not Shedeur Sanders, they're no longer valid once the investment is so small that maybe things, kind of fix themselves and we can go forward with what the potential talent is. I'm not sure that the decision would be any different as far as if they had another chance to pick in the fifth round. Because let's face it here, we're talking about a 5th round draft pick. I'm not sure that they would take another player, but obviously once they have him in the building, they have been very reticent about promoting him, about moving him up the depth chart, about giving him playing time, about giving him major reps in practice. They've taken it very slow, and that's because in part what he has rewarded with them with is not exactly a glowing exclamation point play me statement.
All right, Armando, let's switch gears here and talk about one of our other favorite topics in recent conversations, Bill Belichick. The rumor mill really seems to be kicking into overdrive now, and the rumors do not look very good at all for Bill Belichick. Can you help us make sense of what is or isn't going on in Chapel Hill right now?
Yeah, I don't think that there is going to be a decision on Bill Belichick before this season is over. Obviously, we all saw that he got the dreaded, vote of confidence, and he, in return, gave the dreaded, I'm staying. So both of those are worth about nothing, because at the end of the season, I believe there will be a different decision that will be made, but it doesn't make sense for anything to happen now. Bill Belichick is a lot of things. A quitter is not one of them. And so he's not just going to walk away, I don't think, mid-season before the season is over. Of course, I didn't think that he'd be dating a 24-year-old either. So there is that. So take what I say with a grain of salt.
He's full of surprises.
Yeah, he's full of surprises. And Bill Belichick has gotten kind of a pass because of all the rings. But let's remember, he's on his own now. His quarterback is not TB12 anymore. He doesn't have the benefit of the people that put together the Patriots in 2001, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and 13 and 14, by the way. So he doesn't have that anymore. Left to his own devices, he's the guy that didn't play Malcolm Butler in the Super Bowl. Might have cost him a Super Bowl. Pissed off Tom Brady in 2017, 18, and 19. Brady left, went on to win a Super Bowl. Belichick went on to win no Super Bowl and get fired. He's the one that hired his friends who had never been on the offensive side of the ball to ruin Mac Jones, right? He ruined Mac Jones by making Matt Patricia the offensive coordinator. Matt Patricia is a defensive coordinator, and Joe Judge a quarterback coach. Joe Judge is a special teams coach. So Mac Jones, great rookie year, and then fell off the table with Tweedledum and Tweedledummer coaching offense. Those guys are great at what they do in their expertise, but they weren't in their expertise because genius Bill Belichick put them in the wrong place. Mac Jones, by the way, he's playing pretty good right now, isn't he? So that sort of, we see you, Bill Belichick, without TB12, without Tom Brady, and even with Tom Brady, you made some boneheaded decisions and you did some boneheaded things, brother.
He is really at risk here right now. Maybe we're past the point of saying even at risk. Maybe we're already into it. He's tarnishing his legacy somewhat. Is he not? Because these aren't questions that we would necessarily be asking ourselves right now, if not for the fact that this debacle was occurring right now at North Carolina.
There are ways to go out, and this is definitely not one of them. So Ricky, I covered Don Shula at the end, and it wasn't wonderful. In his last year, which was his, I would say, his low point, which was 1995, they still won 9 games and got in the playoffs. And then he got sort of railroaded out the door, and he had chances to coach elsewhere, and he decided no. At age 66, I've written my story. I have a legacy. I'm going to protect that legacy. And the legacy was he won 2 Super Bowls. He was the author of the only perfect season in NFL history, and he won more games than anybody. And to this day, he's won more games than anybody. I don't know what would have happened to that legacy had he gone to the Cleveland Browns like they offered him a job to do. But I now look at what Bill Belichick has become post the rings, the 6 rings in New England, post everything that has happened since, where he couldn't land a job, where Raheem Morris gets hired ahead of him, where he takes a college job the next year because he figures I'm still not going to get hired in the NFL. And obviously that legacy, it's tarnished. It's tarnished right now.
Yeah, in retrospect, people were much too hard on Don Shula. I remember at the time they were saying, "Oh, the games passed him by," and your comments are a nice reminder that it could have been much worse actually. Without even bringing Jordan Hudson into the picture. Armando, what did you think of what we saw last night? The New York Giants coming in 7.5-point underdogs at home, and they just laid it to the Philadelphia Eagles. Not a good performance for the defending world champions, but quite a continuation of Jaxson Dart's coming out party. And Cam Skattebo is the topic of water cooler conversation all over America today. What did you make of that one?
Yeah, rough day for Philadelphia all the way around yesterday. Oh well, I don't care. But Jaxson Dart and Cam Skattebo, the Dart Skattebo show, bro, it's a hit, and they're off Broadway, and they are a hit off Broadway. They're gonna be in lights very soon. They are 2-1 starting together. And the one that they lost is because they combined for 4 turnovers. And so against the New Orleans Saints, we're watching a league where a team can lose to the winless New Orleans Saints on Sunday and 4 days later turn around and whip the defending Super Bowl champions. I don't know. And you're asking me for expertise. Impossible to predict the NFL.
Yeah, I mean, here we are. What a way to kick off week 6. I guess the one thing that is always certain in the NFL is nothing is certain. And what we think we know, we may find out shortly that we don't know it all. Armando, always a pleasure having you on. One thing's for sure, I always know more about the NFL after our conversations than I knew before I welcomed you to the program. Look forward to having you on again soon, buddy.
Appreciate you, Rick.
He is Outkick senior NFL writer, Armando Salguero. And Armando talking about what happened in Philadelphia, saying he doesn't care. Well, there's a lot of people in Philadelphia that are way less concerned about the Flyers losing. Still less concerned about the Eagles getting drilled by the Giants last night, but whose hearts were absolutely broken by what happened in the National League Division Series. In the 11th inning last night in Los Angeles, Phillies reliever Orion Kerkering fumbled a comebacker, and rather than going to first base, panicked, I think is the only thing that we can say, attempted to throw home, threw it away, and the Dodgers advanced to the National League Championship Series, where they are set to meet either the Brewers or the Cubs. We will find out who that opponent is, but the season comes to an end for the Philadelphia Phillies in a very, very cruel way, and I feel for Orion Kerkering because Kerkering is a guy who now is going to be synonymous with this moment. And as you know, Philadelphia fans, not exactly the warmest and fuzziest of all fan bases. So I can only imagine what this kid is going to be hearing from them next year and going forward. But it reminded me a little bit, actually, of a football player. Jackie Smith. Some of you will remember Jackie Smith in Super Bowl 13. Cowboys were down a touchdown, and he was wide open, and he slipped as he went to haul in Roger Staubach's pass. This was a guy who was one of the greatest tight ends in the history of the NFL. Hall of Fame player at the end of the line, and I'll never forget Vern Lundquist saying, what did he say? Oh my goodness, Jackie Smith, bless his heart. He's got to be the sickest man in America, the words of the great Vern Lundquist. And Orion Kerkering, bless his heart, he had to be the sickest man in America last night because that is a tough, tough way to get eliminated from the playoffs. All right, we're going to head to a break right now, my friends. But when we come back, we've still got a few surprises up our sleeve on this Feel Good Championship Friday. And, of course, I'll be asking Ronnie T-Shirts the question that I love to ask him. And it'll all happen straight ahead, right here, right after this, on The Ricky Cobb Show.
Football's finally back. So's the hard-hitting gridiron action on Prize Picks. Download Prize Picks and use code OUTKICK and get $50 instantly in lineups when you play $5. Must be present in certain states. Visit prizepicks.com for restrictions and details.
And welcome back to the program, my friends, here as we come down the stretch drive on this Friday afternoon. And Ronnie, I'm afraid we've got some sad news here. Sister Jean, Loyola Chicago's chaplain and good luck charm, who captivated everyone when they made their Cinderella run during March Madness to the Final Four. She has passed away at the ripe old age of 106 here. You can see Loyola University greatly saddened to confirm the death of Sister Jean Dolores Schmidt. Tremendous loss of someone who touched the lives of so many people. We appreciate everyone's thoughts and prayers during this difficult time. Details to follow. Well, you know, Ron, it's always sad when someone passes on, but I don't know. It always hits in a different way when it's someone who is old and who you know lived a good life and was loved by the people around them. Super Sky Point, the Sister Jean. Ronnie, anything to add?
I mean, she was it 2017 or 2018 final 2018.
Don't remember, Ron.
I think it's 2018.
One of those 17 maybe. I don't know.
I mean, you talk about captivating a nation. Like, I mean, she was everywhere.
18. That's right.
Yeah, she was everywhere.
She was just a young girl at that time.
Right. Some say spry.
What? Yeah. I mean, she wasn't even 100 yet.
No.
at that
Double.
point.
She was only in double digits.
106.
Yeah.
Every night you go to bed, you're just like, I remember Gene Sarazen, the great Grand Slam winning golfer, talking about, saying that like one of the hardest things about being very old is like you go to bed and like you don't know if you're going to wake up.
Well, that's depressing.
And I thought about that. Well, I know, but like when you're in your 90s or whatever, it's got to cross your mind. I mean, I guess it can happen to anybody, but
I just feel like I'll be so tired by then. I'll just like, I don't care. Like, I hope I don't wake up. I'm tired.
Well, God bless her. 106 years old, a life well lived. So shout out to Sister Jean there. I know she's going to be missed by many people. And Ronnie, one thing that we have to do here in order to make sure that we have checked every box on this Championship Friday edition of the show is for me to inquire with you, what the fuck, Ron?
So I'm not going to do what the fuck shirtless, but just so you know, I am 100% pantless during this, Ricky. So just so you know that.
No underwear either? Or are you just Winnie the Pooh in it?
Winnie the
Wow.
half shirt, no
Keep
pants.
the honey jar away.
Yep. Half shirt, no pants. So remember, how could you forget 3 weeks ago? A month ago, man, time. I have no conception of time anymore, Ricky. Cracker Barrel, the Cracker Barrel story.
Yeah.
So
remember when we were all upset by that for 7 minutes? Okay. Yeah.
Well, one of the
things move quick in this society, Ron.
One of the restaurants on social media that was throwing massive shade at them was Steak and Shake. They would tweet funny things about it, and well, Steak and Shake's now in the news, but this is awesome. Like, this makes me want to really support Steak and Shake, and I love a good Frisco melt. Frisco melt and those thin fries.
That is. I just gained a pound thinking about it. That's my go-to order, Ron. Frisco melt is.
Oh, the texture of that bread and then that Frisco
good.
sauce. Oh my God.
Those large little fucking skinny fries, whatever they're called.
Shoestring fries.
Yeah. Dip them in the cheese sauce.
Milkshake.
Good Lord. Okay,
Milkshake.
Go ahead, Ron.
Milkshake.
Get thee behind me, Satan.
So anyways, company-wide, they are installing flagpoles and flags, and the mandate from the corporate is it needs to be as tall and as big as allowed by that individual jurisdiction. And it's nice to see, like, hey, go USA. So great story.
Steak and Shake trying to find anything they can do to resuscitate their dying brand, at least up here in Illinois, man. Like, it's like Blockbuster videos. You drive by and you're just like, okay, there's the corpse of a Steak and Shake.
Well, I will tell you,
one just like a mile or two from where I live.
It's one of the few restaurants in the part of Nashville that I live in that is open past like 10 o'clock at night. So if you're looking for something, if you've been out and you want something, like Steak and Shake is your only option. So
it used to be much more popular, but look, if they can get a little bit of mojo going here by piggybacking off of Cracker Barrel being idiots, then good for them. I hope that they're successful.
Absolutely. And then Ricky, so we talk a lot about AI and how AI just, I don't want to say it scares us, but we're just thinking, man, like when are we going to hit a point where we do not know if it's AI or if it's real? And we're getting close. We're getting super close, Ricky. Like, I texted something to a group text I have, and like 3 seconds later I said, oh, they got me. It's AI. Like, it's ridiculous. Well, we kind of have a real life AI situation. So there's a house in Fountain in South Carolina that is decorating for Halloween. and they made it look like their house is on fire. And it's so realistic, Ricky, that people have been calling the fire department to report that a house is on fire.
Oh my God. So, like, what are they using to create that effect?
You know what? I dove in and I couldn't find exactly what it was, but it's look at that, Ricky. Like, who wouldn't think if they're driving past it that this house is?
Anybody would think that. Man.
Yeah, so
that's crazy.
Dude, we're just getting to a point where we don't know what's real and what's not real anymore.
Have you seen Stephen Hawking doing like X Games? Have you been seeing those videos?
Dude, I just saw one with him doing MMA. It was hilarious.
I haven't seen that one.
It was so funny.
Yeah, it's not all bad, obviously.
But look at that, Ricky. That house is on fire.
In really strange. Well, yes, it's on fire. Somebody called the fire department.
Yeah.
There's probably some house really on fire that's not getting help because the fire trucks have been called out to the scene of this festive Halloween family. That's a weird fucking thing to do, though.
So, but here's the big worry.
Really.
Here's the big worry I'd have if I'm this family. What if your house is really on fire and everybody's like, "Oh, that's the firehouse. Don't worry about it. You don't need to call the fire department."
It's the Boy Who Cried Wolf House is what it is, Ron.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, better hope. I don't know, I don't know. It can't be good karma to do this. I don't know. I think they need to find a different way to celebrate Halloween. I'm not comfortable with it, Ron. It's upsetting me.
Well, you know what?
Almost
They made
as
the Ricky
upset
Cobb
as
show.
I am being by. What?
They made the Ricky Cobb show, so.
Well, they did. Well, I guess,
Same.
yeah, congratulations to them for that.
Yeah.
Well, I was going to say that it's upsetting to me, but not as upsetting as the results of our NFL picks so far this season, because you enter week 6 ahead of me, and I'm needing to make up some ground somewhere. I'm not pushing the panic button, Ronnie, but let's take a look at how you did last week. No, we've got this week's picks. Your record is 11-9, which I think I'm 9-11, but we'll find out
That's
what
correct.
I am for sure. Let's see here. Yeah, okay, so I'm 2 games behind you. It looks like we have one game here this week that we're in agreement on. Go ahead and take me through your thought process here, Ron.
Feels like we always have one game in agreement.
We tend to.
Yeah. So, I mean, what do I need to say about that first pick? Like, it's the Jets, dude. Like, the game's in England, so there's no home field advantage. Like, the Jets defense is atrocious. You got to feel like the Broncos can win this thing by a touchdown. So that's why I'm going with the Broncos. Patriots, I mean, you got to feel like momentum's a thing, right? Like, they just beat Buffalo in Orchard Park. So you think that a 3.5 over the Saints should be relatively easy. I mean, the Cardinals, I mean, after what happened last week and their coach, being so soft, and Daniel Jones just having an epic year, I'm going to go with the Colts. And the Panthers, I mean, they're kind of like the Jets. They're like, well, how do you not go against the Panthers? So I'll go with the Cowboys there. So I'm going with all favorites this week.
All right, you're going with all favorites, and I will start with the one where we are in agreement, and it is the Indianapolis Colts against the Arizona Cardinals. Look, the Cardinals may show up. Maybe they'll show up. Maybe they'll be pissed, and they'll come back with something to prove. I kind of think that they're just going to get blown out is what I'm going to predict is going to happen. I think their spirit was broken by what happened last week.
And that's who's starting. I don't even know who their backup quarterback is. That's who's starting.
I don't even know who their backup quarterback is.
Yeah, because
really?
Kyler Murray is turf toe.
Oh, see, there you go. I wasn't even factoring that in when I made my pick. I really like that pick.
Oh, it's Jacoby Brissett. It's Jacoby Brissett. Jacoby Brissett.
Okay. Yeah, that's right. So I like the Steelers laying 5.5 against the Browns. I know, I don't know. Dylan Gabriel's second career start against Aaron Rodgers, against Pittsburgh, in Pittsburgh. 5.5 doesn't seem like enough to me. So I'm going to go with the Steelers, and then I'm going to take a couple of road dogs here. I think that Joe Flacco is going to give the Bengals at least a pulse this week. I fully expect them to lose, but I think that they can keep it to two touchdowns
he
or
just beat
less.
the Packers 2 weeks ago, right?
I'm just saying, maybe that works against him. I'm not sure, but finally, and I really had to kind of talk myself into this one. Monday night, the Bears back on the road against the Commanders, where everything went haywire last year with the Fail Mary play. Look, laying 4.5. I picked against the Commanders last week. I'll tell you this. I had the Chargers laying 2.5 last week against the Commanders. That didn't work out. If the Commanders bite me again here, then I may stay away from them for a while, but I think the Bears have a chance to win that game. They've won 2 in a row. Lomas Brown was calling Ben Johnson the savant when I interviewed him a few days ago. I think there's a chance not only that the Bears can go in there and keep it close, but I think the Bears have a chance to pull an upset in this game. So I am going to ride with Caleb Williams and the guys here. So, as always, Ronnie, we shall see. Let's go to poll replies. See what folks are saying right now about a full tank of gas fueling itself to victory on this Championship Friday with 39%. That is a 12-point advantage over Strike 3 Curve Looking, which, quite honestly, pretty damn good performance to finish second for the entire week there for something that was almost kind of a weird thing for me to put in the poll, but I feel validated by the popularity of it. Let's see what folks are saying. Let's check in with Super 70s Nation here. The Yacht Rock Playlist Consultant says, I will echo Ricky's sentiments from earlier this week. Is there gas in the car? Yes, there's gas in the car. I think the people down the hall know who you are. Careful why. I used to sing Kid Charlemagne at karaoke all the time back in the day, Ron. Mark Clark says, I'm still voting for Vince Lombardi's fist stick. By God. Mark Clark keeping it real here. The real winner of this week, Vince Lombardi's fist stick, which of course did wear a whistle around its head and wasn't afraid to blow it if it caught you loafing. I'll tell you that. You don't want to be a vagina that Vince Lombardi's fist stick catches napping, because the whistle's going to be blown. Don't even know what that means. The great Rex Crum says, I'm voting for a full tank of gas, even though here in California it can cost as much as a house payment. Thanks, Gavin, says Rex Crum. The Moops says, only one of these lets me order waffles, bacon, and pie at 4 a.m. without judgment. And, hey, look, that's a pretty sweet trifecta right there. Can't even argue with you. It is Championship Friday for a reason. There are no losers on Championship Friday. There's just winners who win a little less, I suppose, is how we look at it. So my thanks to everyone who voted and everyone who has chimed in on the poll of the week this week. We're excited, my friends, to announce the return of the most patriotic award show on television. The Fox Nation Patriot Awards is back and better than ever, hosted by Sean Hannity. It all comes to you Thursday, November 6th at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, live from the Tillis Center in New York. Tickets on sale now at foxnation.com/Patriot Awards. Last year was a record-setting show, but this year is even bigger. Surprise guests, new awards, and even a special honor for the life and legacy of Charlie Kirk. Get your tickets now at foxnation.com/Patriot Awards. And with that, I would like to thank Ronnie T-Shirts for joining us from Champaign, Urbana.
Go Bucks.
Go Buckeyes. I'm going to cheer for you. See, that's what a friend I am. You're coming into my state. I'm still cheering for you and your
Love
team.
it.
My thanks as
Love
well to the great Armando Salguero for joining me, to Molly and Adam and Colin and everyone in Nashville who does such a bang-up job on this program every day, to B.A. Jarrett, and, of course, producer Tim. And most of all, I thank you, you sweet bastards, because without you, there is no me, there is no show. And I love you guys. I hope that you have a great weekend. Whatever you do, do it well, enjoy it, have fun with your family, have fun with your friends, have fun by yourself, whatever it is that you're into. I hope that it's a good one for you. And let's make a deal that we'll meet right back here again on Monday when, yes, we will tee it high and let it fly with another episode of The Ricky Cobb Show.